All righty. So wanted to kind of get on and give a little story about crazy claims, right? So I would say, just off the top of my head, this is not 100% accurate, but I would say probably close to 30% of claims have overpayments or fraud involved in them, and then things that you would be shocked that would be covered. So, it is anything I talk about is something I've either experienced, I've all experienced it, so I'm not giving some story from somebody else. This is literally something that I've had to deal with our agency. And so, here's an example of one. Imagine, that you're a business owner and you lease a space and you get a permit and you pay your taxes and you get insurance and you do everything that you're supposed to do. And then you open a business, you have a business license, you do everything you're supposed to do, and you're serving clients. And unfortunately, a situation happens and there's a disturbance between a group of people that's inside the place. And in this case, it's family. So imagine family members are arguing for some reason. And then essentially what happened here is that there was an argument. One of the people went back into the parking lot, grabbed a gun, and their family member was still inside the restaurant in the doorway, but in the door, and they shoot that gun and kill their family member. So that's a very, very awful thing, right? But unfortunately, in our society, the business owner will get sued. The landlord, if there's a landlord, will get sued. And in this case, even other people are getting sued that are somehow just being added to the lawsuit. An example would be the real estate agent that said, hey, you're looking for a space and we found you a space and you signed a lease. Imagine that. Now that person is going to be sued too. And then the crazy part about it all is most people would go, there's no way the insurance company is going to pay for a crime where a family member shoots another family member. No, actually the insurance companies are going to try to settle. And in this case, they're actually settling or trying to settle. So they're offering money. This person is incarcerated, but they have lawyers, right? And they're offering money to settle the claim. Now, that is a big reason why insurance is so expensive, and especially for hospitality places. So any place that, is a restaurant that happens to serve maybe beer or alcohol, a lot of times they're legitimate claims for that. Unfortunately, if you serve somebody a beer, I've had clients that serve somebody a beer at 12 in the afternoon, and then that person is a weekend, and I guess they decide they're just bar hopping all day, and then the very next day at 3 in the morning, they get in an accident because they're drunk and they either injure or hurt somebody. Well, that person who served them at 12 in the afternoon the prior day, because there's a digital receipt that person drank a beer there, they're being sued as well. So that is what I see all the time. I'm seeing the plumber being sued because the roofer did something wrong. I'm seeing the electrician being sued because the landscaper did something wrong. So unfortunately, in our very, very litigious society, if you're a business owner, you're most likely, if you're a real business, you have insurance. Those lawyers know you have a good amount of insurance to protect that business, and they know that the insurance companies can't afford to fight because the insurance companies know that if they go to a jury trial, the people in the jury are going to look at the big bad insurance company with a lot of money and say, look at the poor victim over here, and they're going to award massive amounts of money for something that either shouldn't have been awarded, or maybe there was legitimate. There's most of it's legit, 70% it's legit, but it should have been maybe a $60,000 payout, but they're going to pay out $500,000. Well, the insurance companies don't actually care about paying these claims. I don't. When people call me up and they say, hey, this insurance company is going to try to get out of paying, I've never seen that. The insurance, it's a contract. It's really, really simple. Sometimes they're slower. Sometimes it is frustrating. I'm not going to say that it's easy, but in my experience, and I've been doing it quite a long time, is that if you have a valid contract in place and it was a covered event, they're going to pay. And it's actually in their best interest to pay faster because the longer it takes, the bigger the claim's going to be. So I'm not here defending insurance companies, but I want people to understand, because a lot of our clients will call us up and think that they're for some reason care to deny the claim. They don't care to deny the claim. They're in the business of paying claims. That's their entire design, is to sell a contract and to pay a claim. And they're going to pay it. They have to pay it, because the truth is if you sue them and they were supposed to pay the claim, which happens, you hear the crazy nightmares, that gets there, but it's like less than 1%, but at the end of the day, if you have a contract and it's a legitimate claim, they're really going to pay. So my 23 years experience, I've never had a client that had a legitimate claim that wasn't paid out. So crazy claims, just to tell you, they're out there. I've had employee, a waitress stab the cook and kill him. That was a big, even if the claim won't be paid, let's just say, that's not designed. That's not what insurance is designed to do. Insurance is not designed to cover murders, right? But the lawsuits still cost money. So the insurance companies still have to defend and respond to all the lawsuits. So even if the lawsuit is frivolous, it's completely ridiculous, the insurance company is always spending money, even if nothing gets paid out. That's the other thing people don't see is that they're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars defending the client, when it's definitely not a legitimate claim, but it's still going to cost a lot of money. At the end of the day, the insurance companies don't really care about that. They do their math every year. They simply go, we paid out X, and then they just adjust the rate. So all of our rates are crazy high. Majority of the reason they're crazy high is because of our inflation problems, massive, crazy inflation problems. But it's also because of the litigation thing. Every time you see that commercial, get what you're deserved. If an 18-wheeler touched you, get what you deserved, or whatever. Yes, those are legit. Obviously, there's legitimate claims and people get hit, all that. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm talking about the fact, and I bet most of you that are listening to this in the back of your head are kind of going, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because we all kind of do it, which is, oh, somebody touched your car. Oh, your neck hurts. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're about to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Well, that mentality is everywhere. And it is what it is. And the insurance companies don't have any problem with it. They know that's the mentality. They know they're going to lose to the jury. And so their only time they fight is if they truly believe that they're in the right. They're not going to fight unless 10 lawyers tell them you need to fight this. If one lawyer, and they have tons of them, says, look, this is not going to look good, and even though we really shouldn't, it looks bad, and it's going to be hard for a jury to not award this to this family or whatever the situation is. That's really what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So claims are massive. A claim that should be 60,000 is 100,000 or more, right? People who aren't injured are maybe they're injured a little bit, but it's not just, it's everything is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm always straight up with everybody. And at the end of the day, the insurance companies are just going to continue to raise our rates as long as we continue to, have inflation. You know what I'm saying? Weather, those are all legit. Those rates are going to go up because of inflation, weather, all that. But there is some of this is us as a society just wanting to sue everybody because they touched us or whatever, to touch the vehicle. One of my own good clients called me and said, hey, we have a scratch and there's a lawsuit already. I said, that's not just, it is what it is. Don't worry. Your insurance company is going to defend you. They're going to settle and pay it off, even though nobody's injured. It's just, unfortunately, the way our society is set up. So anyways, that's probably a very, very boring conversation. Some of y'all might appreciate it. So I figured I would share it. So that's a real event that's going on with that claim. And, all the other claims that I mentioned, those are claims that I've personally have had go through my business throughout my years of being an insurance person. All right, everybody, be safe out there and let's be nice to each other, right? Take care.